In 2019, I opened my first Cyprus Limited company, and up until today, I saved thousands of euros in taxes. The process of incorporating a company here in Cyprus took me just 2 weeks, and I only needed to sign some documents. And if you want to have the same, definitely watch this video until the end. Hey everybody, I'm Rico and I'm making awesome videos about Cyprus, so definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel. When I first visited Cyprus back in the days and I heard about the business benefits here on the island, I knew that I must move to Cyprus. 4 of the biggest reasons were: 1. The business-friendly environment here in Cyprus, 2. The discreet business registrar, so the financial numbers are not public here, 3. The tax advantages while we are still in the EU, and 4. The easy and straightforward company incorporation process. The process of incorporating a company here in Cyprus is usually done with an agency because we do have the Greek language, and also we need a local lawyer for the government documents. It's very important that your agent knows what he's doing, so definitely make sure to have a good research for finding a perfect agency, and if you want to have my recommendation, check the video description. The process of opening a company is divided into 5 simple steps. Step number 1 is prepare all required documents. In order to start with your company incorporation, you do need some private documents from all of the shareholders. Either you open your company on your own or you do it with some business partners. However, you definitely need a passport or an ID, proof of address of each shareholder, and make sure to know that when you have a director here in Cyprus, he needs to have a Cyprus address. And the third one is the bank details from the personal bank account. Next one is also very important, and that is every company here in Cyprus obviously needs an address, so you do need to have a business address. I do recommend to use a service for that, just because when you're moving here, it's very common that you move again to another city or to somewhere else, and you don't want to change your business address every time you're moving. And when you're using an address service, you can then just register your business there, and whenever you get a letter, the service provider usually sends it to you via email, and you always can use the same business address. Some agents ask for a business description about your business. This is due to AML purposes, because the Cyprus government is regulating some topics. You cannot run a business for every single topic, but if you're running a normal business, there shouldn't be an issue at all. The next 3 documents are necessary for the government, and that is 1. The statement of capital of your business, the memorandum, and the articles of association. And this basically means how many shares does your business have, and how much is each share worth, and how is it distributed with your potential business partners. Also, how is the relationship and the internal relationship regulated between each shareholder. So what is happening if this or if that, when some certain scenarios are happening. Also the addresses of individuals, so who's living where, that is owning the company. Here again, the director needs to be local, but all the secretaries or shareholders in general can live abroad. And just a side note, if you want to have a more confidential business structure, which I can totally understand, you can use a nominee service. Also, another side note, if you have a very complex company structure with holdings and offshore companies here and there, you definitely need to get an individual quote, because it's a very specific case, so it needs to be tightened to your individual case. And funny enough, the first step is actually the step that you do the most work in, and that is just preparing all the documents and describing your business. The second step is then choosing a name, which is very simple. You just give 3 name ideas about your company, and the agency is then adding it and typing it into the registrar of companies here in Cyprus and checking which name is available. You can also add priorities, which name you definitely want. You can reserve a name for 6 months, and in general I recommend to start as early as possible, just so you get your company as fast as possible, because things can be a little slow here, especially during holidays, and we do have a lot of holidays here in Cyprus. So make sure to start as early as possible with everything, and then you can also bypass the due diligence very fast and also be added to the registrar of companies as fast as possible, because this is happening after your name is approved. And then you can proceed with the third step, and that is signing the documents. So here you will be either signing electronically, in some cases this work, or otherwise you will need to come to Cyprus and sign the documents of your company. And at the same time you're now paying for the services, and that is for the capital of your company, because each share is worth €1, and normally we do have 1,000 shares per company unless you want more. And also we need to pay the setup fees, which is depending on which agency you're using. I also have a separate video talking about specifically how much it costs to open a company and how much it costs to maintain it, to operate it, the yearly costs, monthly costs, etc. Check out that video. And then after you paid, signed the documents, step number 4 is the fun part, and that is receiving the documents. You will receive the following documents, and with that you officially registered your company here in Cyprus, and that is 1, the memorandum, 2, articles of association, 3, certificate of directors and secretary, certificate of shareholders, certificate of registered office, and certificate of incorporation. All those documents are needed throughout everything you're doing in the next few months or years with your company, and those are the documents that you will receive after the registrar of companies accepted your business. Step number 5 now is super important in order to correctly run your business, maintain it and operate it, and that is you definitely need to register for VAT. You need to register at social insurance, and you also need to open a bank account, obviously, because you're a business, so you cannot use your personal account. For VAT for your business and TIN registration, which is your personal tax identification number, your agent will help you with that so that you're able to register correctly. And for the social insurance, also your agency in most cases help you with that if they are good. And the social insurance registration is then also at the same time your registration at the NHS, YESI, so you're going to a hospital or a doctor, and then you're also in the health insurance system here in Cyprus, and also some other services. And then next one, your bank account. I do recommend working with a fintech bank just because they have many benefits and they are very cheap, but you can of course also work with a local bank. However, in most cases they are very expensive here in Cyprus. They do have some monthly fees, but if you want that, you can of course go with that. And now very important, and that is everything that I said is for people that are incorporating a company as a natural person. If you're having another company holding your Cyprus Limited company, so a very complex company structure, this is going to be very individual to you. So definitely in any case, make sure to check the video description so that you get my recommendation for an agency here in Cyprus. I myself am not a tax advisor and not an accountant. I'm just sharing my own experiences with having a lot of Cyprus companies here on the island. And also I'm going to make more awesome videos. There are a lot of things you do need to know, such as that you need to be a non-dom individual here in Cyprus in order to enjoy the tax benefits. And if you do not know what that is, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.